Toy fans, Aaron here. For those of you in the US, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving Day yesterday. And for everyone else in the world, I hope you had a great Thursday. But anyways, by viewer request, going to take a look at the Geonosian Rescue Mace Windu. This was released on the Saga collection line back in 2002. So let's head to the table and check this one out. First, a look at the packaging. This is released, as I mentioned, on that Saga collection card. They got you that blue swooshy looking background with the golden Star Wars logo on top, and that gold-tinted racetrack running around the edge of the card. Through the blister, of course, you see the figure with the included lightsaber, with a little sticker up there notating that he's got a slashing lightsaber attack. And then towards the bottom, of course, you see the photo of Mace Windu, along with the name of the movie, his name, and then kind of the scene name being Geonosian Rescue. Left side of the card, you just got his number in the lineup, which is number 28, his name, and then collection 1. And on the right side, his name and number once again, and then just the little list of includes, which in this case is just the lightsaber. On the back side of the card, up on the top half first, you can see you got a kind of a silhouette image of the figure that you're getting, along with the name of the movie above that. And then to the left, underneath the Star Wars, you got a brief description about Episode 2. Below that, his name, and then the 02 and 28 once again, the 02, of course, being for the year of the release. And then you have a pretty decent sized write-up about Mace Windu. Below that, you got some photographs highlighting this figure. Oddly, for some reason, it's pointing out that he's got a screaming face. And then to the right of that, you see they're kind of showing off the slashing lightsaber attack. And then down at the bottom, you got a couple other figures that were also available in the line at the time. And now taking a look at the figure out of the packaging. The figures for the Saga collection became very action-oriented, stylized figures, if you will. I guess that's kind of the best way I can think to put it. They weren't your basic stand-up straight figures. All the arms, the legs, they were in a very battle-ready pose. And you certainly got quite a few gimmicks on some of the figures. And for the most part, I didn't mind the action-oriented poses and stuff, except in this case, what isn't working for me is that head sculpt. Mace Windu has been sculpted with just an agonizing, painful look on his face. And in episode 2, we didn't see him with this look on his face. Part of me thinks that there was a deleted scene where Jango Fett was, grabbing his arm or something as he reached out for his lightsaber. But I can't find that deleted scene. I can't find any notation of it online. So maybe I'm just dreaming the whole thing up. But anyways, as far as that painful look on his face as an action figure goes, this just really isn't working for me. It's not one of my favorite figures. Aside from the look they gave him, though, the sculpting isn't that bad. And they actually did a pretty good job of getting that mouth opened up, painting a tongue inside there. Decent painting for the white teeth even. So while it's not my most favorite looking figure, they still did a decent job with it. Neck down on this figure, I do like what they did. The sculpting of his Jedi uniform is looking pretty good. Pretty decent paint job for that tunic underneath that you see sticking out around the neck. Even get some touches of that color around the back side of it. The sculpting of that cloth throughout the arms even has a nice little bit of movement to it, a little bit of flow in that sculpting of the fabric. Obviously, because of the action gimmick, you do get a wonky looking articulated point on the elbow area of his right arm. Pretty decent sculpting and paint job for the hands. They certainly match in tone to the color of the plastic used for the head. Oddly, there is a hole just above his right hand, just kind of inside his sleeve there. I don't know what that's about. He didn't come with any accessories that slid in there. I don't recall this arm coming from another Mace Windu figure either, so I don't really know what that's about. Through the belt, you've got great sculpting in there. Pretty nice paint job, too. Seeing the pouch on the right hip. His little capsules also right next to that. And some nice buckle detailing painted in there. And then as it swings around to the back, more pouches sculpted in, looking pretty good with some grommets here and there. Of course, you see the little lever sticking out of his butt for the action feature of the figure. Sculpting of the robes below the belt line continue to look pretty good. Again, a nice fabric flow sculpted in there. And then as far as the legs of the figure goes, things are looking pretty good. Again, a very action-oriented styled posing here with the knees being bent a little bit. Nice bits of wrinkled sculpted in for the fabric. And then his boots are looking quite proper as they should be. A little bit of wrinkles and stuff sculpted in around the bends of the ankle. And even some black soles painted on the bottom. So really, it's not too bad of a figure. I'm probably more harsh on it because I just don't like the head sculpt. As far as articulation, the head swivels, but not that much because it's kind of angled out. It gets in the way with the collar, so not a lot of movement happening there. At the shoulders, they do swivel. You can almost bring the left arm all the way around, but because of the way that arm is angled, you're not going a full 360. No big deal there. His right arm, though, that will swivel all the way around. At the elbow, well, obviously because of that action feature, it's just got some swinging movement there, but it's not going to stay in any one place that you put it unless you put it all the way up and kind of, I don't want to say jam it up there, but it'll stay. As I already mentioned, no elbow articulation on his left arm. No swiveling for the wrists. Those are locked into position. The waist, while it does have that articulation because of the little button that you push on the back, you're not going to be able to position it how you want. It's pretty much going to be stuck in that spring back position. As for the legs, there is some swiveling to them, and his little robes here are opened wide enough to allow you to make any adjustments you need, so you're going to be able to get him to balance and stand up just fine. And that's all you get. There's no ankle or any feet articulation to the figure, which I think was relatively standard for the figures at that time. As far as accessories, obviously he comes with his purple lightsaber. I mean, that's Mace Windu. That's what you want to receive. Obviously, mine does have a little bit of warping to it, but that purple blade is looking really good. And then even at the bottom end, coming out of that hilt, you got just a little bit of that little lightsaber crackling effect. Crackling might be the wrong word, but, it's not like Kylo Ren's lightsaber. But also in this line, they just added a little bit more, detailing or something to not make the lightsaber look so much like a little tube of plastic. As far as the hilt of the lightsaber, this is metal. And I'll touch on that in a moment, but otherwise the sculpting that you're getting for this hilt looks very accurate to me, very representative of Mace Windu's lightsaber. There is a touch of yellow painting in there for the gold that he has on his hilt. Maybe that could have been stronger, or maybe that's just kind of faded over time. The black is applied nicely around the handle. And then this lightsaber blade is also detachable, so you can just have only the hilt without the blade if you wanted to. Also, as I mentioned, that hilt is metal, and that's because on his right hand, there's a little magnet set inside the hand there. So it kind of gives him this little force effect of grabbing his lightsaber. Also kind of nice because it helps him hold on to it too. He's not, going to too easily drop it. And then for that slashing attack, just push that button on the back side. Of course, if you do it too hard, he's going to throw his lightsaber. Now, unfortunately, that magnet is just not strong enough to kind of hold on to that lightsaber as he's throwing it around. So you got to be pretty gentle doing that little slashing move there. It's kind of neat. I guess if you're, playing with your figures or something, it's not too bad. All right, so like I said, overall, this isn't a horrible figure. It's just that head sculpting. I'm really not a fan of the look that they gave him. I suppose maybe it would help more if it was a scene in a movie that I was able to relate to, but in this case, all we've got here is a tortured Mace Windu. The rest of it, though, really isn't looking that bad. I do like the action style pose to it. I like that he looks like he's about ready to kick some butt. And the little slashing action feature, it is what it is. It works for the most part if you don't push that button too hard. Otherwise, he's flinging his lightsaber across the room. And so that wraps up this look at the Geonosian Rescue Mace Windu. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.